Well, over the past few days, NewsX Exam Shield campaign has gained momentum. We've spoken to several stakeholders and listened to the ideas and suggestions of eminent Indians, educationists and professors, and most importantly, students. Today, after deliberations, we present our first charter. Step 1, establish permanent national examination task force. India needs a dedicated permanent task force that functions throughout the year, not just after an exam paper leak or major controversies. This body should focus on preventing examination fraud, coordinating intelligence, identifying emerging threats, recommending security upgrades, and ensuring swift action against organized exam crime across the country. Step 2, build a multi-agency task force. The task force should bring together expertise from multiple institutions to address both security and academic challenges. Its proposed composition should include state police forces, Central Bureau of Investigation, representatives of examination conducting bodies, directors of AIMS institutions, directors of IITs and other leading technical institutions, such as a diverse body would combine investigative capabilities, administrative experience and technological expertise to improve examination security and governance. Step 3, empower the task force across states. Every state government should authorize the task force to coordinate investigations and take timely action against organized examination rackets. Strong cooperation between the centre and states, along with clear legal powers and intelligence sharing mechanisms, can help dismantle exam mafias operating across state borders. Step number 4, fast track the construction of new medical colleges. One of the biggest pressures on competitive examination is the severe mismatch between the number of aspirants and available medical seats. Government should accelerate the construction and operationalization of approved medical colleges so that capacity expands much faster than it does today. 4 AIMS campuses are currently in advanced construction: AIMS Madurai, AIMS Avantipura, AIMS Majra and AIMS Bibi Nagar. These AIMS campuses will collectively provide 400 undergraduate seats. Step 5, launch a national faculty recruitment drive. Building colleges alone is not going to be enough. Existing institutions and newly established medical colleges must be adequately staffed with qualified faculty. A time-bound recruitment program should be launched to fill teaching vacancies, improve student-teacher ratios, and ensure that quality is not compromised as medical education expands. Step number 6, set a time-bound target to double medical seats, and India should adopt a clear national roadmap to substantially increase the number of medical seats within a defined time frame. A transparent target backed by annual milestones and public progress reports would reduce the intense competition for limited seats while strengthening the country's healthcare workforce for the future. Well, let's talk about this. Joining us on the show at this point in time is Professor Amitabh Singh. He's from the Center for Russian and Central Asian Studies, School of International Studies, JNU. Professor Manoj Johri, Principal of DAV College, Kanpur, is also joining us. Professor Rashmi Jain, President, Vice Chancellor, University of Technology, Jaipur. Last but not the least, Dr. Parth Awasthi, Senior Faculty of Biology, Narayana Institute, Jaipur, is also joining us to talk more about this. Thank you everyone for being a part of this conversation. Well, these are testing times, these are trying times. I'll begin with Professor Amitabh Singh. Professor Singh, appreciate you taking out the time and speaking with us. Well, education, a lot of people feel, is in the ICU at this point in time. You know, considering the public infrastructure, the apathy towards improving public infrastructure is also something that has gained momentum. Why do you think, sir, that it got to such a point that the student had to come out in defense for himself and herself when it comes to demanding better facility from the government, regardless of which government it may be?
Thank you, first of all, for inviting me. These are difficult times. It's not difficult time only for the student, but also teachers like us who are, stuck between the students and the administration or the government. Many a times what has happened is that students who have been always been taken for granted somehow or the other by our system in terms of admissions, in terms of the facilities that are given, and what has happened for the past, say, 15 or 20 years, that the contest between privatization and the government education is going on. So most of the students are in between two worlds. What they are looking for is cheap quality education, which government is somehow not being able to do for many reasons. I mean, there are also limitations, but the most important fact is that the private education is getting very costlier. So the students are caught between two worlds, that how will they arrange for their finances if they are going for private education, and the government appointments of teachers, the admissions, the cost of education, everything that government. And moreover, what is happening over the years, if you observe from 2012 to 2026, in one of the reports it was shown that the total expenditure of the government as part of GDP has come down to half of what it was being done in 2012. Though government has increased spending on many other sectors, for example, road transport and things like that, but the overall expenditure of the government is going down in education. So there is also a requirement that somehow a middle point is taken, where the government, as you said earlier also, that government needs to increase the number of seats in medical, in engineering, in other liberal arts, for example, something that we teach, so that students get quality education. The second most important thing is the funding is inadequate. And the way the things are, that they are moving, what we are seeing in forms of protest, these are also very disheartening for the student. They prepare for years together, their family is involved, and it's not like one generation back where our parents were concerned, but now the entire family is affected when anybody is appearing for, even for a 10th exam or an 8th exam, leave aside the competitive exams that they are happening. So important thing is that the credibility of the education system in terms of admissions, in terms of recruitment of teachers, in terms of the quality education that might be given to them, needs to be improved. And there where the problem lies, the government has to take the responsibility. It cannot simply vanish and say that, look, this has been happening for past so many years, we are trying to do, we have punished, but somehow the buck stops at the government.
So, another important stat that I would like to share with you is the fact that private schools 10 years ago were somewhere around 2.8 lakhs, and this number has swelled up to 3.4 lakh over the last 10 years. Public school enrollment dropped by 2.5 crores in the last 10 years. 94,000, roughly about a lakh schools have shut down. Public schools have shut down in the last decade or so. What is this telling you? Are private schools, being given more preferences? Is the system perhaps tilting towards, the commercialization of education, and the public school is the sufferer here?
See, what has happened is, if you go to any public school anywhere in the country, be it Delhi, be it Tamil Nadu, be it Bihar, be it Northeast, there is a real problem of infrastructure there. Many of the schools do not have even roof, even running water or clean toilets for children. Leave aside the blackboards or any educational teaching material. The average income of the Indian has also increased, but that increase in the average income of Indians have made them believe that somehow the government education that is being given in schools, especially schools when it comes to 10th or 12th education, they do not trust the government in imparting good quality education. Though the curriculum of both the private school and the public schools and the government schools are the same, but somehow this impression has gone deep down, even in small villages, remote villages, where people do not want to take admission in government schools. And if there is affordability, if there is availability of schools, people prefer government school, largely because, as I said, largely because of the accountability of the education department or the government towards education is lacking. Now, private schools, they do not impart quality education. Also, I'm afraid to say, but the only thing is the regularity, the admission of students happening in time, the examinations happening in time, and there is a certain discipline which somehow the government, because most of the government schools that you will see, what are they doing for most part of the year? They are involved in census, they are involved in polio vaccination, they are involved in census, they are involved
or
in many other
SIR,
exercises,
or SIR.
or SIR or voter list, you name it. Anything that the government wants to do at the grassroots level, they employ the teachers for that. I mean, that's taken well. But the point is that if you see at least for 20% of the year, I mean 20% of the days in the year, most of the teachers have other things to do than teaching, right? So that becomes a problem.